Afraid for one of the goalies. Yeah, it's gonna be tough. I think playing this Finny and keeping these mom boots up, especially against the Amy, especially a player like Kainub as well as Bells with the Juliet. I just think it's gonna be a tough matchup here. But Vaughn as well also going for the mom boots. I saw in the pregame chat they were kind of talking about how they both are really big proponents of the mom boots. They're both going for it here, and I think it's gonna make for a really interesting goalie matchup here.
Yeah, and Vaughn, right? Not you already lose. It's Vaughn and Kainu both on the field at the same time here, with Vaughn being in the goalie slot. The two most MVP players in the history of North American Strikers League on one roster. Bunn Bunn Bonanza already being put under pressure by Bells, like you mentioned. Juliet getting it done there, and Hungry Like Nephew getting first blood.
Yeah, Lily Bun's job already just looking so difficult against that Juliet here, and starting with the size as well. Going for the slick kick, so just so much carry potential there. And yeah, having Kainub and Vaughn on the field at the same time here in Grand Finals is extremely scary, I think, once you're loading in and seeing that. But so far, Scyther doing a good job in this point, getting the goal barriers open early, and Liari finding a KO on to Vaughn on the goal line as well. The core, though, will sneak past both of them, and there's not enough speed to get there, but they do still have the power play for just a little bit longer. Scyther trying to find it in the corner. The flip from Bells, and he uses the black hole perfectly to score that one.
Yeah, it's just a little bit of impatience from Bunn Bunn Bonanza. They try to just strike it through, and Bells finds the opening, takes the shot, 2-0 in the favor of Hungry Like Nephew here. And it doesn't look like they're slowing down at all. Bells, despite the big finish, already getting the first barrier here.
Yeah, and Kainu just not missing any abilities. I saw a little bit of the pre-show, and that's exactly what Soren was talking about. And, you know, we didn't know necessarily that Vaughn was going to be in here as well as the flip goes backwards, but those bomb boots and glass cannon are enough for Lily Bunn to get back, so it'll continue. Kainub is just so efficient with those abilities that it's always going to be taking those boots away. It's always going to be putting the pressure on the forwards and the goalie of Bunn Bunn Bonanza, as Lily Bunn just keeps stepping up, keeps going for it, and the insta-flip as well there, not quite catching them off guard, but pushing up a KO found, and we'll see if they can convert the power play this time as Kainub's dash is down and Bells has to go back and play defense.
Yeah, and Bun Bun patiently passing around, and the card will take out Kainub as well. It's a 1v3 for the moment. Vaughn back, and the slime will help out. Lily Bun's got to be careful here. There's been quite a few situations today that she's been punished for stepping up, but not this time. Scyther pokes it through, and Bun Bun are on the board.
Yeah, and as much as I think the Amy and the Julie, rather, can be scary. So far, it's been the KOs, as even though they're down 2-1, the KOs have been found by Bunn Bunn Bonanza here, and a lot of them on the goal line. So Vaughn's just going to have to be really careful. Maybe, you know, a little bit less practice, as I know he was on a trip, which is why he missed last week. But the defense not holding the barriers there, but they do get the hold on the goal line. But it's another KO on the goal line just over and over again. Bunn Bunn are finding this. A little miscommunication, so one barrier does go down, but they're getting the core ahead to Scyther here. They're already trying to set him up, and they're keeping the black hole up for now, which maybe gives them a little bit more insurance when Lily Bunn steps up like this. Bells pops it that time, but still nothing found on either side, and Scyther looking a little bit low.
Looking low, but he on a little backup and finding the shot without using meter, crucially, right? The energy on Bun Bun is looking quite healthy heading into this fifth point. The same can be said about Hungry Like Nephew as well. And these flips are really going to determine a lot of the action coming out here.
Yeah, and we had a lot of close sets and close games, especially that second map when we saw these two teams in Winners Finals just a little bit ago, as Scyther does use that first flip, misses the VODs on Bell, so maybe he's going to get a chance to use it, but if they can put the damage on here, which Lily Bunn is trying to do so, and they do find the KO on the other side, Liari finding the barrier as well, so here's a chance for Bun Bun to go ahead as they get 2 KOs. Liari strikes it out of the slime, and the first set of this Grand Finals is going to Bunn Bunn Bonanza.
And Bun Bun Bonanza right now, a long road ahead of them, right? The Grand Finals and the reset. Not many teams have taken it all the way through. It is an extreme rarity, and I believe has never happened in the North American Strikers League itself. Unless I'm wrong here. So either way, not going to be easy, but this set is looking pretty good for them.
Yeah, no size showing up for Scyther, but he gets the next best thing, I think, in Fight or Flight right here, which, along with the Slicks, is just going to give so much carry potential. And I think something like the Juno is going to really have trouble if Scyther can get that core in open space, which is always what Bun Bun is looking to do. And Lily Bun getting team player as well is going to help that. Kainoob getting some dash range with the aerials and Bell's a little bit more damage is going to be helpful, but I still think that draft, getting the speed on Scyther and the team player on Lily Bun is going to be very scary for Hungry Like Nephew to deal with.
Yeah, and my memory already being corrected here. Of course, Season 3, Sad Boys 2-0-2-0 against EKC. But this is part of that team, right? That did just that Bun Bun are facing. Right now, though, Scyther with a lot of control in the enemy net will secure the goal, and Bun Bun still looking good.
Yeah, still looking like there's just not much for Kainoob and Vaughn to do on defense with all of the coverage of the outclears that the cards from Lily Bun, the primaries from Liari, and then of course the hooks from Scyther are all covering. And when Lily Bun is just pushing up like this, there's no chance for them to really punish when it just stays in the corner. But a punish is found by Bells there on Scyther, who's taking damage the whole point, that heavy impact putting a little bit more damage, but Liari is able to get that second barrier open in the reverse power play, and with Scyther almost back up, and a great flip from Lily, they still have one barrier remaining.
Liari taken low now. Good evade to not get flipped off by Kainoob, and the big finish will pop the center. Kainoob in a lot of danger. Triple take going to slow down the flip play. Bell is building up a lot of meter here. Has the flip available in the open net situation. You got to be careful. Scyther navigates around absolutely everything as Kainoob is low, but nowhere near being KO'd here. And the Slimes will send it around. Bell's in position, choosing not to flip just yet, waiting for the perfect opportunity as Liari fends it away. Kainoob still advancing, still healed up, and Bell's almost guaranteed, but Lily Bun with the big finish will deny it. The glitch pop now, dangerous, but Liari helps fish it out, and a shot around, and Vaughn trying to save it, pixels off the angle on the bumper as Liari makes the clutch play.
Yeah, extremely clutch play a couple times there to keep that point alive, and then Liari is able to set up the score. And I think you do notice that the damage here with the heavy impact, the Deadeye from Vaughn, it is starting to stack up where there's a lot more pressure onto Bun Bun, but they're still just controlling the core so well, and Scyther has such a strong build at this point that it's so hard for them to be able to continue to use those abilities for damage. They're using some on Liari here, but not quite finding it. And just once again, it feels like every time we're 15 seconds into the round, the goal is open, and Lily Bun is able to step up just like this.
Yeah, but kind of looking to punish here. Liari trying to deny it, but not quite going to get it this time. As Bells and Vaughn also stepping forward. The momentum boots having a lot of forward presence here. As Vaughn drops back, the flip baited out. Scyther now resourceless in the enemy net. And the passing play beginning for Bun Bun. Liari looking for an angle, but denied away by Hungry Like Nephew yet again. And Lily Bun gets caught out by Bells. There's the glitch pop from Kainoob to tap it in. And Hungry Like Nephew capitalized on the overextension.
Yeah, and Bells did a great job of just shadowing Scyther because, like I said, with the slick kicks, the fight or flight, he has so much offensive potential once he gets the core. So Bells with that flip just stood in front of him for as long as he could, would not let Lily Bun pass it to him in open space, and then eventually he found the punish on the push-up. Really well done by Bells there. He was able to hold on to that flip as well, and it's going to be a lot of pressure here as he goes for damage, goes for potentially the double barrier, but just gets one that time.
Liari's got to be careful, but Bells catches the pass on the black hole angle as Lily Bun sends it away for now, but this barrier advantage is huge. The KO combo is huge. The dash pop from Kainoob, but now Bells dribbling to the bottom side actually gives Lily Bun an opportunity to save it there. A slight mistake from the brawler of Hungry Like Nephew, and the respawn's coming in.
Yeah, Scyther's back and using those abilities on defense, getting the speed up, trying to make it happen, and Kainoob dashes a little bit too far so that they do get the core behind him. Liari falling back to play defense behind Lily Bun, which is what you just see from this team all season, multiple seasons. But it is Bell who finds the double stun there, the Amy turret as well for insurance. And we're all tied up, heading to a 0.5 once again here.
Yeah, despite the overcooking earlier, just the perfect amount on that dash punch there. Getting the hits done, finding the goal, but Scyther on the other side, not getting KO'd by Kainoob's attempt on his life, and Bunn Bunn Bonanza off to a 2-barrier lead already in this critical final point of the set. Kainoob low, but 1 barrier earned by Bells, and the glitch pop will interrupt the pass. Bells is in the midst of everybody, not going to score just yet, but wins a strike war, and that's going to be the game tied up.
Yeah, that's what just happened looked exactly what the Hungry Like Nephew defense has been dealing with all game. They just would not let it come out. Went for a little bit of a riskier play, but Kainu just had the read to get that second barrier. And then it was Bells with all the pressure in the world in the corner. And it will be Kainu, who I think we didn't say his name quite as much that time, but he was doing so much on defense and offense, found a big KO as well. And he will be rewarded with peak performance, which is just going to help him stay alive, give him that speed as well. But with how Lily Bunn is playing, stacks on stacks going to her is going to be scary here as well, I think.
Yeah, the sheer uptime on the speed, as long as those stacks are kept, will be quite difficult to deal with, walking past the enemy forwards to make plays, to strike it away. But I think a pretty good game state here for Hungry Like Nephew as well, with just a lot more stability, especially on Vaughn, right? That size, a little underrated on the Juno, makes it a lot easier to do a lot of the plays, and Bell's already finding the KO.
Yeah, but the double size did mean that Scyther was still able to find himself some size as well, and this build on Scyther is very scary, but so far that's not really mattering. He's having to use all those abilities on defense here as the early power play and double barrier was found, but Liari and Scyther are now setting up. Lily Bunn with all that speed is able to get back for that one. And they're trying to get back into their game plan that helped in that first set, but it goes all the way around, so they won't find the conversion right here. Bell's posturing for that stun, but not quite finding it, and the core will reset back into the other corner.
Yeah, the spirit of Sad Boy still living on in this team here as Scyther pulls it away. The curvature, though, unfortunately, is going to make it difficult as the core spirals around. Kainu with flip available, waiting for the opportunity to jump in, has to use it defensively, and will send it forward, maybe for Bells, maybe for a glitch pop. Not quite enough this time, but as overtime hits, that Juno's getting a lot scarier, and the strike war still being won by Hungry Like Nephew.
Yeah, and, you know, a lot of MVPs on the side of Hungry Like Nephew, but Lily Bunn is not letting that change her playstyle, make her scared at all. She is still stepping up all the time and finds a beautiful pass with the team player there to Scyther. We'll see if he can find a conversion, as Vaughn does have the flip, so a lot still to be done, but they do finally get the barrier open. A lot of damage found on Lily Bunn and Liari, and another insta flip from Lily Bunn off of her ultimate. Doesn't quite find it, but Scyther now with that slick kick speed, with all the size, is trying to find it, but it's the Blobos being found, and it's another insta flip on the other side.
Yeah, they're getting a little fancy with it. They're trying to catch each other off guard, but everyone is so locked in this moment. Another team player attempt. The slime going to deny. The strike's going to send it away as Vaughn predicts Scyther with the Blobo bounce. And now a Flame Flurry to deny the big finish here as Kainu helps just send it in the other direction in the midfield, but Scyther in position, doesn't get the strike after the hook. Liari in position, not quite enough either as Bunn Bunn Bonanza, they're trying, but the Hungry Like Nephew defense is just so strong.
Oh, and it goes between, but Liari's able to get there in time, still being held up, and even with the team player's speed, it's just not enough for Bun Bun. They're not able to convert after all those chances, and the core goes off the slime. Vaughn with the redirect to the bottom at a perfect angle, and it is found. When you get to overtime, I feel like this Kazan with the team player on Lily Bunn should be so scary, and it was a lot of scary situations for them there. While Hungry Like Nephew, with Kainu and Vaughn on the defense, were able to find it that time.
Yep, taking it slow here against the big finish. They get it through and find a barrier on the other end. The Hungry Like Nephew. Defense though, Vaughn the one caught a little overextending, and the barrier does fall. Lily Bunn rotating it to Liari around the world. Bun Bun sending it spiraling, but unable to find the goal just yet. No big openings. The slimes, everything but Kainoob is there despite the recovery drone being popped. Hungry Like Nephew holds strong still. A flip available for Bells. Vaughn nowhere near being taken out there. And now they just transition to offense so quickly as well.
Yeah, and Bells with this flip uses it a little bit far away, but is still able to find the stun there. So it's a lot of energy on Bun Bun, but the goal is open and the core is on this side for Hungry Like Nephew. And it's a perfect glitch pop right between Lily Bunn, maybe in range for the flip, but didn't think she needed to there. And it's a second point found for Hungry Like Nephew. A lot of momentum in their direction now.
Yeah, not a great point for Bunn Bunn Bonanza. Really something that you would not wish to let slip away here, but that's a barrier take. You got to reset. You got to figure out how to recenter yourself when those situations happen. And with a lot of meter, these flips might be the answer, but Hungry Like Nephew, they've got energy of their own here.
Yeah, a couple flips used there. Scyther's as well, but just a little bit far away, and Kainoob is too fast with the strike there. And now that's going to make him a target for this damage. He gets staggered, but he manages to get the barrier. In the meantime, the pass up to Liari, and Kainoob is just always covering those. It's a very consistent setup that Bun Bun has, and Kainoob is reading it consistently. But the flip is found. They keep it alive for now, and we'll see if Scyther can convert this as Lilybun steps all the way up and tries to set him up. The timing almost found, but Vaughn has another ability. No KO found on Liari, but she's going to be pushed out of the play and have to play some defense here.
Yeah, it's so rough because Vaughn is just reading Scyther so well in these defenses, and if the moment that he falters even a tiny bit, Kainoob is there to follow up. It's going to be difficult to score here for Bunn Bunn Bonanza, trying to set up with a big finish, trying to find the hook, trying to find anything, but it's just Scyther getting staggered. And finally, the team player core speed, a slight opening in the center of the field, and they will find one.
Yeah, beautiful pass from Liari and from Lilybun to Scyther. And you see that consistent setup every time. Is Lilybun pushing all the way up, feeding Scyther the core, and Liari just covers the out clear. If it ever gets too far back, Lilybun is passing it up, and Liari is also falling back and playing defense. And every time they're able to set that up consistently, it has made for a very prolonged offense, and Bells just isn't able to get in and get the barriers. Somehow there, the double barrier isn't found, but Bells does invest the flip, finds it here. Just one more point needed for this set. It's all three members of Bun Bun playing defense, and they hold for now.
They do hold, but they're still on the back foot right now. They need to find an opportunity, and the opportunity is Bells's with the dash punch power play for Hungry Like Nephew. Lilybun, so much space to defend here, but the core speed's coming in. There's a cyber swipe cutting off the escape, and that's Hungry Like Nephew with the lead.
Yeah, and when the momentum boots were fully stacked, it was 703 speed for Lilybun with the stacks up there. But eventually, once your teammates go down, there's just nothing that speed can do against the hard confirms of the dash from the Amy that time. And it's another set MVP here for Kainoob, going to have his pick of the litter and end up taking the twin drive, which, along with the aerials he got a couple of drafts ago, is going to be very scary. Lilybun is going to take the Monumentalist to try to have those big finishes, get some more pressure, some more damage in the corners, and Hungry Like Nephew continuing to hold their picks here. I don't think it's a great draft for them considering they got the win, but it does leave some more snowball potential with that prize fighter on Julie.
Yeah, and the big problem here is that I don't really see any big win conditions for Bunn Bunn Bonanza, right? Of course, there's the big finish, but I think Hungry Like Nephew have been very reliably dealing with it. So I think they have to hope that Scyther can get in there, that he can succeed, or else things are going to start looking even worse.
Yeah, but so far he's able to do that straight away, looking more like the first two sets that time. And then Liari gets the pass from Lilybun, is able to set up the double stun. So that's exactly the game plan. I think it's winning those barriers very, very, very quickly for Scyther with all that size, with all that speed like he was doing early on in this game. We'll see if he can find some more, but does take a lot of damage from the black hole and Bells there. So going to be hard for him to find these converts.
Not going to be easy for sure here. The big finish going to stall things out and send it away. The additional size doing work as Scyther just strike wars two people twice in a row, finds the barrier take, and that's the kind of Scyther gameplay we need to see. But Bun Bun Bonanza not out of the woods just yet as Kainoob's still healthy. Well, not healthy, but alive at least.
Yeah, staying alive for now, but Liari does find the KO with the Super Surge there, and the ad rush she got earlier in this game hasn't been much of a factor, but it is there as she sets up Scyther. Does have to use the flip because of a great jump by Vaughn, but it's still a quick 2-0 for Bun Bun, and maybe that win condition is just Scyther getting everything done here on these kickoffs.
Yeah, and we're seeing a new side of Scyther here, the Awakening being picked up. It was Spark of Agility, so nothing too crazy, but I think he's just stepping up his gameplay, and the game plan from Bun Bun still pretty similar, but unfortunately this barrier not long for this world. Bells is getting in there so consistently, and this 1v1, Bells versus Lilybun, it's not a 1v1 anymore. Kainoob cyber swiping in, and Hungry Like Nephew can get a goal in this one.
Yeah, not much to be done in that point, and it was the defense just falling apart pretty quickly. Also a lot of energy still on the forwards of Hungry Like Nephew, so going to be a little bit scary. But Lilybun up to 106 stacks now, so getting close to that huge speed increase that she could find. But it feels like with what Hungry Like Nephew is finding in offense, wow, the speed won't matter. And right there, it's the core speed that finds a perfect angle for the double barrier. Scyther trying to hook, trying to set this up, and it's Liari instead in the corner who sends it in just like the first point, and we're headed to a set 5 on this first map of Grand Finals.
Set 5 approaches, and if there's a player you wanted for that first pick, it is Scyther12, the pick of the litter. And also importantly, right, the Juno of Vaughn further down in the pick list, that hot shot looking extremely deniable.
Yeah, and I think it's a little bit difficult here between Primetime and Might of the Colossus, but we'll go for the Primetime. I think those hooks are just going to be so easy to punish a Juno who doesn't have something like Primetime or Twin Drive of herself. She's just going to run out of cooldowns, and he's still going to have a second hookup. That's going to be very scary. And like you said, Hotshot, the Estelle being ahead of Juno here is a huge factor. So although Kainoob is able to get that extra special, which is really, I think, something great for Hungry Like Nephew, the rest of the draft is very Bun Bun favored. And at prime time, that hot shot that the forward duos were able to get is going to be very scary as they almost get double barriered there. Keep one up for now, but Scyther is still going to have a lot of agency in this offense.
Yep, it's up to Lilybun to get it out of the corner here, and will do so. Liari will send it forward, and Vaughn, while trying to save it, will double barrier. Now Liari, though, in a lot of trouble. The spec training on that Flame Flurry, gonna make sure she has no chance of survival there. And 2 barriers are taken. It's a power play for Hungry Like Nephew. Lilybun winning the strike war in the midfield, but Kainoob is flipped this time. Still defending desperately, but it will be Kainoob sending it ahead, and Hungry Like Nephew, a good start in this 5th set.
Yeah, some extreme patience by Kainoob, just doesn't want to use that flip and is able to hold on to it. So Kainoob and Bells both close to a flip here. That's going to be a lot of offensive pressure. And we saw Liari just taking one ability there. It can snowball into a lot, and that spec training is going to confirm those kills as we saw that time. But a good setup into the corner here now. Liari and Lilybun going to be able to pass back and forth between each other, try to set up Scyther on this offense. The angle just barely missed. Could have potentially been a double barrier, but it's Scyther going down with a full flip here. That's going to be a huge swing, and now all 3 members of Hungry Like Nephew active in the offense. The flip invested, and that's 2 quick points.
Yeah, and a bit of greed in the energy usage, right? When the opponent has spec training Juliet, you need to evade the Flame Flurry, and I think Scyther was just too confident. Oh, I could just tank it and use the flip when the core comes around, but the core never came, and he was taken out by the dash punch.
Yeah, and it also means 3 prize fighter stacks for Bells extremely early on here as Scyther moves all the way through the turret and Vaughn there, so able to get the barriers open early on. Almost finds the hook to confirm the goal there, but not quite. Lilybun trying to set him up, and Liari as well. The flip will have to be invested, but Scyther instantly hooks that one back. That prime time already showing itself, and Bun Bun is able to extend this set 5.
A 0.5 might be approaching here, especially as Vaughn and Bells are critically low on energy. Big opportunity for Bunn Bunn Bonanza to find something big here, but Bells already stepping up. Bells getting double barriers here, and now Kainoob with the Firewall Sentry, Cyber Swipe, everything for Hungry Like Nephew as they take the first game.
And that specialized training for Bells found so much value in that last set. Found the double barrier right there, and then that last setup was just impossible. It was a great showing from Bun Bun, and that Kazan build had the chance to carry that game, but it just wasn't quite enough. There was a lot of coordination on the offense on those last few points. A few KOs found for Hungry Like Nephew as well, and it will be Kainoob getting the MVP of that game, just doing so much. Lilybun with the most redirects in the lobby as we get to the post-game screen here, but it's still just enough. Kainoob and Vaughn doing so much on offense and on defense there, and it's Hungry Like Nephew taking this one map away from being our Season 6 champions.
And it was pretty dominant, right? Even though it did go to a set 5, I think when Hungry Like Nephew were winning their points, it was the whole team just feeling like an overwhelming force. While when Bun Bun was winning points, it was Scyther 12 finding a big opening and doing Scyther 12 things.
Yeah, it felt just so much harder for them. And like Scyther had to really win every single interaction. And for a while he was. That's the reason they were able to get it to a set 5. But it just wasn't quite enough that time. So for our second map, we will be headed over to Night Market. So could be a very long game. Will be a very different game here. But I think, having Vaughn and Kainoob in this game, it just means like so many different things can be picked. And I think it's very hard to predict the draft here. But Bun Bun, they kind of play their game plan. They played it that time. So will be a little bit easier to predict them. But going into this draft, I think it's very scary trying to draft against Vaughn and Kainoob.
Yeah, and well, it looks like Vaughn is being subbed out for Yuri Lose in this game. So it won't be the dynamic MVP duo anymore, but it will be the roster that got them. to this grand final from the winners final today. And we're going to be on that night market, right? So any big thoughts?
Yeah, I did just notice that Bunn decides to go for red side here, which they did earlier in their series as well. In their second map on Amy's app, I believe they went for red side. So it's something that they're prioritizing. I think it's getting more of a duo rather than a priority first pick, and I think that's partly a product of players like Kainu who can just pick anything. It makes you more so want to have a cohesive team comp than just one pick feeling especially important. But yeah, going into this series, I was wondering if either Vaughn or Kainu might sub out at some point. Either you put in the roster that got you here in playoffs, or you put in the roster that got you to the playoffs in regular season. But it is the roster that we saw last week. It's you already lose Bells and Kainu here with the chance to win it. And yeah, it's going to be a different dynamic. But you already lose, can play those ranged goalies, probably will be on those ranged goalies, similar to Vaughn. So might not be too different of a game plan still here.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens here. As it looks like my camera has frozen. Okay, we're back. But taking a look at the starting awakenings, it is Spark of Strength, Peak Performance, and taking a look at those, are you surprised? Do you think anything will change, or is this one of the most plain drafts of all time?
It is it is pretty plain, but we will have changes because Juno and Amy are the first two banned. Those are both played by Hug last time, and part of that, of course, is the player change. But it'll be the Estelle getting picked up first here, and I imagine that's going to be for You Already Lose. I think it's been he was his comfort pick earlier today against this team, but Luna and Juliet will be picked up for Bun Bun, and that's going to be Liari on the Luna. I think in the beginning and middle of the season, especially, she was picking that pick quite a bit, and it was looking very strong. So not traditionally her best map. Most people consider Night Market here, but still comfortable enough to go for the Luna here. But yeah, with such a plain start, it's really, I think, just about comfort and cohesion with these comps.
Yeah, and taking a look at the Hungry Like Nephew composition, right? It is very, very core control-y, and it's either going to be Estelle or now I expect the Estelle in the goal box. And taking a look at how Bun Bun Bonanza are going to play against that, I think they might have a little bit of trouble with the midfield control. Of course, the Dubu can step up, but the Luna, of course, not famously a super core controlling midfielder, and that could lead to a lot of issues when there's a Now and an Estelle just getting it past you and keeping the core in your half.
Yeah, and I think what you said is really going to be the key. It's going to be the Dubu stepping up, and that's probably what they're hedging on here, as it was the last pick. They were able to evaluate everything that was there, but they decide to go for it. And yeah, it's going to be a lot of Lily stepping up, just like last game, but of course on a very different pick this time. But yeah, the Now is going to be extremely difficult for the Luna and the Dubu to deal with, and I would be a little bit scared if I was going into that here. There's also just the fact that your brawler is X means there's a lot of scaling potential there as well. Now can do a lot of scaling as well. So I really like the comp from Hungry Like Nephew. I think you can adapt into playing a lot of different ways, and that midfield matchup is going to be very difficult for Liari to consistently get the core past what I assume is Kainub on the Now.
Yep, we'll just have to see once the teams are ready to start up the game here. This could be the final match of the playoffs in Season 6 of the North American Strikers League. Weston, who do you think is going to take it all?
The only series that we had to go to 3 games in these playoffs so far was that return to form and Dubu series, the last series of last Saturday. So now that we're at the last series of today, it would be fitting if we had another 3 game series to extend things. But looking at this comp, looking at how these teams have played today, I think Kainub and Bells have just looked so strong. Even when it's not as flashy always, like they talked about on the pregame show site, they're talking about how Kainub doesn't necessarily make that many flashy plays, but he just does everything right. And I think we saw that in that last game. We saw that in the series between these two teams earlier. And I would expect Hungry Like Nephew to take it home here. But I would love to see another 3 game series, some more excitement. And that first map was very competitive. The last map of the last series as well was very competitive. So I'm interested what we're going to have here, but we're about to load in here on Night Market.
Yep, gonna see if Bunn Bunn Bonanza can get it done here. It's not gonna be easy. Hungry Like Nephew, many NASL championships in their roster. In fact, probably the most, right? You already lose with a record-setting amount, and of course, Kainu, Vaughn, and Bells, no slouches either. So this is gonna be tough. But Bunn Bunn Bonanza, they've been here before. They challenged the Sad Boys quite a bit in Season 3, back during their championship run. It's a long time since then, but I think it's still looking very doable.
Yeah, and this time it's happening with the stage even higher. It's Bun Bun Bonanza's first time being in top 2 here. And traditionally, teams that have got there typically lose in their first time and then find a way back later. But we'll see if this time it can be Bun Bun finding a win in their first time in top 2. They're going to have their work cut out for them here. But like you said, it's just a very plain start. Everybody has peak performance. So we'll see if KOs can be found. But early on, that Juliet and that Luna, we'll see if they can find any of those side KOs. And it's Scyther trying to get things done in the corner here. Nothing found yet, and no barriers early on here.
Yeah, and this Dubu, right, from Lilybun, the Dubu, out of all the melee goalies, has seen the most success by quite a large margin in this meta. And especially on this map, especially with the damage output that can come out sometimes randomly.
Yeah, as Scyther finds a KO on the backside there. And yeah, you had the momentum boots this time, and it's going to be sort of a similar playstyle to the Finny, but you have the pauldrons this time instead, and it's Liari dashing into the goal, finding a KO as well. It's 2 KOs in that point early on here with Bells still at level 1. And there is some explosiveness out of this comp, as difficult as that midfield battle might be. It is found right there.
Yeah, it's not going to be easy, but with the pauldrons, you occupy so much space in the lane. And Lilybun's going to have a pretty good time walking up, finding that presence, and being able to strike. Because in previous games, she was caught out for doing so quite a bit. But on Night Market with this Dubu pick, it's going to be pretty reliable. And Scyther with a flip right in front of everybody finds the KO, finds an extra barrier on the other side. But I think they're still in a good spot.
Yeah, Bell's trying to find the KO. He does, but it's a beautiful pass just in time by Lilybun up to Liari. Bells was not able to get up there after finding the KO almost with the bell ringer, but it's 2 quick points for Bun Bun Bonanza. And yeah, when you're on Night Market here, the Dubu is able to push up on one side and Liari cover the other side, which is always how this team plays, but it's more difficult for the enemy team or for them to rotate it around. So it's kind of even more risk reward as far as if it gets past. That Luna is not able to always dash, especially on this map, and find it, as they mess up the rotate a little bit there. But it's just Lilybun so consistently pushing up past this midfield line, putting the pressure on. A couple of flips traded there, but 1 barrier on each side.
Lots of energy though. Scyther and Liari, both flips available, and Lilybun buying space to send it around the map. A flip from afar, but it will be successful as Bells tries to go for a KO. Not quite. Lilybun still defending though, as Scyther looking for the angle, unable to do so, and Liari's dash goes wide as well. Bun Bun Bonanza, they're trying a lot of things, both an open net on the other side. Scyther dashing in with the Flame Flurry. It's a flawless first set for them.
Yeah, and Scyther level 4 when everyone else is level 3 or level 2, just doing it all in that set, but Liari doing a great job. That KO by Bells not being found really kind of sealed that point, I think, for Bun Bun Bonanza, and they had all the pressure in the world there. And it's Scyther being rewarded with the MVP here. Not seeing anything like the 1-2 punch or the ad rush showing up, but the only size being there going to Scyther will be big, and the extra special for Lilybun, I think, is going to help exactly how they want to play here.
Yeah, it's going to let those Tofu Fortresses block the lanes. It's going to let her push up so much more reliably, and the hotshot is such a highlight awakening as well on the Luna, right? At the core speed, going to be able to cheat a lot of defenses against the relatively immobile Bells.
Yeah, and it's just what they have in the draft, their characters as well. It's so many different ways to win here, I think. It's those push-ups, it's the KOs found from Liari, the core speed from Liari, and it's also Scyther, just like in last game, the points they found, doing it all. Liari falling back for defense there as well, and as they survive that push from Kainub and Bells, they have both barriers open on the other side, but Bells doing a great job rotating all on his own there. Both barriers open here.
Desperate defense from Scyther. The dash punch burned as Liari tries to get it forward. Lilybun forced to burn the log, and the Crater will send it away for now. Scyther trying to set up, looking for the dribbling play. Gets around, goes to Bells, and Lilybun, a rare striking error right into the hands of Bells, who will say thank you, and it's 1-0.
Yeah, I really wanted to get the core to Scyther there, but just waited a little too long. Had the clear up to Liari potentially if she could get it out around the bell ringer. But it is a punish that time, so the first point, much like last game, first set goes to Bun Bun, and then the first point goes to Hungry Like Nephew, but we'll see if Bun Bun can keep the momentum, and they are so far with a beautiful pass by Scyther to Liari, looking like they switched roles right there, and now it's Scyther dribbling, using all that speed. Liari trying to find the KO as well, but You Already Lose is able to hold on to that difficult defense for now.
Yeah, and Lilybun looking a lot more comfortable with the barrier still alive. Scyther looking comfortable in the corner with the dash punch, a KO, and the goal found as this set's evened up. And they're not slowing down at all.
Yeah, You Already Lose's job has been extremely difficult here with so many things. You know, you have the Luna covering the cross clear, you have Scyther dashing in and covering if you clear back into him and with all those hit stuns, and then you have Lilybun pushing ahead and using those Tofu Fortresses. It's so difficult to get the ball away from Scyther and Liari consistently. They're just doing a great job of covering. They might need to find some KOs on Scyther, but the flip and the dash are used there, and he's still holding on for now, but it is Bells finding a double barrier there and a chance for Hungry Like Nephew to go ahead in this set.
A big chance with this open net, but that's going to be Bells advancing here, looking for the dribble. You Already Lose snipes away Scyther, and the power play begins. Liari with the flip still available. Oh, good strike by Lilybun to get it past the primary of Kainoob, and a flip away now. The strike burned. Lilybun still defending, and the log will send it past the bull rush. Successful from Bunn Bunn Bonanza, and what a crazy Tofu Fortress angle to get it out of the corner.
Yeah, the Tofu Fortress dribbled it directly upwards back into Lilybun's arms. Could have been a disaster there, but instead is found, but the push-up is punished, the flip used, and so absolutely no way to get away from that KO from Bells, who had the X Maximus, and it'll be an easy conversion for Kainoob into that top side. That's what can happen. Even though you have the Powerhouse Pauldrons, you have the damage reduction, you don't have knockback reduction anymore, and one X Maximus punch is enough right there.
Is enough. Still not a good spot for Bun Bun here as Bells bull rushes forward, flip in front of the net, looking for the strike war win, but reinforced by two different primaries from Bun Bun. But Scyther's been unable to make those solo plays in the midfield now, and that means Kainoob has all the control, has the shot, the hit stun, and the set win for Hungry Like Nephew.
Yeah, and I'm not it almost looked there like it might have been Scyther's strike backwards, like it was a back pass, but not sure. It might have just been Kainoob striking it down there, but either way, it was a lot of momentum. Hungry Like Nephew, their comp, which can really just do everything, showing themselves right there. They found KOs, they found some double barriers, they were doing it all. The 1-2 punch will be denied away from Julie here, so even though you won that first set, you're not going to end up getting it. Instead, it'll be speed, and I think you see Scyther consistently going for that speed, especially when he's on Juliet, so we'll see if the stacks on stacks can stay up. But spec training going over to X going to be even more pressure with those KOs. I don't think anyone is too overjoyed with this draft. Pretty even on both sides, but we'll see if Scyther can get that speed stacked up quite enough, and if Bells can really make use of that spec training.
Yeah, that would be very important here, especially that spec training, as Bells has been finding a lot of damage. The KO is usually confirmed by someone else, but that damage output has been a huge factor. Scyther, though, dribbling around absolutely everybody, and Liari finds the boost in. Almost KO'd by the dash punch, but still staying alive, and Scyther keeping the core in control. Lilybun sending it forward as Liari's now in position. Good evade by Kainoob, and the dash punch goes wide. Bun Bun, though, unrelenting on the offense here.
Yeah, and the indicator you have for, I think, which team is going to be finding it is which goalie can get the speed gates more often, because it really has been the goalies finding the bulk of them. You Already Lose and Lilybun both wanting to step up and take those as much as possible. Scyther is the one taking it here, trying to get back on defense, but not before Bells can confirm that. He's all the way up to 86 stacks already here, Scyther, but they're not able to get the core to this flip in a good scoring position, and so Scyther just not able to do much, and the flip is finally used, matched by Kainoob, and You Already Lose there. and just not the pressure that they were finding early on in this game. As a beautiful strike with the core speed created by Liari there by Bells is off the middle and is the first goal here for Hungry Like Nephew, a lead found in this game for the first time.
Yeah, that's pretty huge for Hungry Like Nephew. Bun Bun Bonanza were looking so in control earlier on, but all of that has vanished. Bells finding another KO, and now bull rushing in, Tofu Fortress burn, and Lilybun needs to send it around the world, but the defense is looking so difficult. Scyther gets it done with the flick, with the dash, gets it out of the corner, and gets a barrier on the other side. A miracle, a result out of what looked like an impossible power play.
Yeah, and they're only down 1 point here, and he just got those full stacks, so gonna have to be careful around the X on those side lanes with the extra special, or the specialized training rather, up, and Bell's just doing it all, is able to find it with the bull rush. Scyther has a ton of speed here, but if they can keep the pressure on like that, and they punish a clear too early by Liari, it's just not gonna matter what kind of speed Scyther has.
Yeah, it's really not gonna matter here. That's going to be Hungry Like Nephew taking the lead once more, and with Kainoob having the flip, it's not looking too great. The early barrier take, the slow drifting core. Scyther is looking fast, but it is still looking dangerous.
Yeah, using Slick Kick's peak performance and the max stacks right there to run around everybody. It's just so difficult for Yordi and Kainoob to get it around him if they can get these opportunities more often, but it is the Crystal Thorns get it past Lilybun, open up the goal. Kainoob pushing in, and Liari is able to get it past. Not able to get the barrier for now, but that does stall the defense for now. But the pressure is just coming in. The flip was found on that very last strike, but not used quite in time. And it's Kainoob and Bells putting so much pressure and putting Hungry Like Nephew just one set away from being NASL Season 6 champions here.
And this draft is scary. The bulk up going to be taken away. The additional stagger, the way out of the damage, not going to be accessible here. And also a host of scary awakenings. You have to deny Deadeye from the Luna. You have to figure out a way to make the comeback here, but it's not looking too good.
Yeah, and I think a player like Scyther really likes having the Twin Drive. He uses those cooldowns for core control and also going to help stack up these stacks here consistently. But it means that, you know, the Deadeye and the Super Surge are taken away, and then your Luna isn't going to get any of those three. You're going to have to settle for the Prime Time here. So just great awakenings found all around for Hungry Like Nephew. I think Bun Bun not quite finding what they would have needed for this game. Scyther still has a lot of pressure with his cooldowns, as you see right there, but it's going to be difficult for Bun Bun. But if there's any chance to do it, it's when they're all pushed up on offense like that.
Yeah, big goal for Bun Bun to try and keep themselves afloat here, building up a lot of meter on Scyther as well. And they need to find more of those openings with Lilybun pushing forward, finding those Tofu Fortresses, or maybe even just strikes and logs, really, as long as they're found.
Yeah, and that point was not very long, but Scyther was still able to find 70 stacks, now up to 78 as he finds one there. Has the flip as well, and he's just doing everything here. Finds both barriers quickly, uses the flip, doesn't quite find the goal as Liari drops back to play defense here. A lot of pressure from Bells, and it just flips around so quickly. Bells turns it around, finds both barriers, a KO as well, and it'll be a power play for Hungry Like Nephew.
Okay, 6 more seconds, 5 more seconds trying to defend, and they successfully do. Scyther winning strike war after strike war in the midfield to make sure that Bun Bun do not go down here. A flip from Liari in the midfield up to Scyther, looking for a dribble, looking around everybody. It will be defended away by Yordi, interrupted by Kainoob. And now Lilybun with the Tofu Fortress, but it gets right through, spit right back out. The angle is looking chaotic as ever, but unsuccessful are Bunn Bunn Bonanza.
Yeah, both dashes went wide there, and now Liari is punished on the side. That spec training is just finding so much, and it's a perfect strike for Bells. The angle puts it into the goal. So many chances defended there by Yordi and Kainoob, and Bells rewards them with the point. Just 2 away here for Hungry Like Nephew, and back and forth this game goes. Things can turn so quickly. Scyther does have the full stack, so a ton of speed, but it just feels like he has to do everything on these points on offense with how much space Kainoob and Yordi are able to cover.
Yep, a lot of damage onto Lilybun as Liari goes for a hot shot play, but Kainoob, like you mentioned, just covering space, making it so difficult and not being taken out by Scyther's flip attempt. That's the energy gone, but at least 1 barrier earned. And Scyther, although he has the speed, I'm not sure if it's enough.
Yeah, and taking some damage there as well as Bells once again just running in. We've been talking about Scyther, but Bells is doing so much on this offense here. Finds both barriers there, almost a KO. It is kind of going down, but has the recovery drone to stay online here. A ton of energy for both the goalie and the midfielder of Hungry Like Nephew, and if they can get it past that wall, it's going to be Bells who's able to run them down potentially and put the pressure on like he has throughout this game. So far, they're able to keep it in. The flip used. Bells strikes down to the bottom and just barely misses, but it does force the flip out. The dash is matched by the roll, so for now, Bun Bun will able to be holding on to this point here.
Oh, but what a strike by Bells right between Liari and Lilybun, finds the smallest of openings. And now they're on match point here. NASL point. It's 4-peat point for You Already Lose.
Yeah, a chance for 4 championships for him here. And we'll see what they can do. Scyther, it feels like every time on these kickoffs, he's able to put the pressure on. But if Kainoob and You Already Lose can get it away from him for any long amount of time, Bells is just able to do it all. It looks like he might be looking for a KO there. The damage is found, but not enough for the KO here as Liari trying to set Scyther up. Finds one, not quite winning the strike war for the second. The flip will be invested as they rotate it around here, trying to set up this 0.5 here.
Trying, and Scyther is in there, but the dash punch will not catch the core. And Liari now trying to find the hot shot play, but You Already Lose just calmly defending. He's been here before. He knows what it takes, and Bells capitalizes, finds the KO on the Luna. Lilybun dribbling, stalling, Tofu fortressing, and Scyther looking for anything to give themselves some way to get back into the game, but nothing even close to a goal. They hold 2 barriers still standing, but Hungry Like Nephew, I think, completely unfazed.
And they might finally be able to kill Scyther here. He's having to drop back, grab the orb, so he does stay alive for now. A lot was invested to try to kill him, so they weren't able to get the barriers on that power play. As You Already Lose does have the strike shot up, so is able to save that one, but Bells is just getting closer and closer to this goal and has put so much pressure on Lilybun every time he gets in there. Scyther tried to go for the hero play with the flip, but it doesn't happen there. That might be a great position for Hungry Like Nephew here to try to convert, try to force out this flip and get this last goal here.
Yeah, Lilybun's going to be forced to flip soon, and that's exactly when it happens. Scyther, though, what a dash, what a strike, finds the flick to the bottom side, and suddenly Bunn Bunn Bonanza showing a little bit of life, 1 goal away from another set 5 situation.
Yeah, and it could just be 1 point that turns it around here. There's still a lot in these drafts that these teams would love, so as much as it feels like the momentum has been on the side of Hungry Like Nephew since this first set, it could be all tied up with just 1 point as the dash from Liari not able to save that barrier quite yet. They're pushing back here, but 1 barrier still standing for Bunn Bunn Bonanza.
Yeah, Bells got it around, earned a barrier, potentially the second to last barrier here, as Liari flies all the way around the world, but loses control. You Already Lose finds the KO. It's a huge opening now in the power play, but Scyther defends everything here, looking for even more, a flip to stall it out, a flip to try and find a barrier, unsuccessful, but still looking good here for Bunn Bunn Bonanza.
Yeah, they're able to keep it alive. Liari wins a crucial strike war right there, but is not able to get it around Kainoob and Bells. The log, the strikes, but Bells does win the strike war. He's setting up for the goal right here.
Looking for the opening to the top side. Lilybun not giving it to him just yet. You Already Lose, flip available. But Scyther will just strike it away just like that, looking for the second barrier. But Liari dies again while dashing forward, and now Bells has all the control in the world. Kainoob's in there.
A second KO found by Bells, and he gets the strike as well. 3-1 in this map, 2-0 in the series, and Hungry Like Nephew are your NASL Season 6 champions.
Out of all the ways to end, it had to be that one. They find the KO. They find another after the Tofu Fortress, and they just pass it around for the victory. The most decorated players in Omega Strikers are getting it done yet again here.
Yeah, and as soon as this scoreboard is on stream here, and it is there, you can see Kainoob with the performance there on the now. There was just no way to get it past him consistently, and all three members doing a ton there. Bells finding 7 KOs in that game, finding the conversions, and just so difficult. Both of those maps, it felt like Bun Bun had chances. They had so much fight in them to find the 3 sets that they did, but it was always Hungry Like Nephew who were just consistently able to outplay them, and we saw it there all season. It's what they did, and now they are your champions.
So consistent, so good at what they do, and of course they play whatever it feels like, right? The now, not a common pick in the current meta, but they pulled it out, and of course Kainoob looked as good as ever on it.
Yeah, and they even had different players in these 2 games of Grand Finals, completely different comps, completely different picks, but whatever it was, they were the best team in the league. It looked like it really all season after the first few weeks. It looked like it in our first week of playoffs, and today they certainly showed it as well. So they're able to take this home, and they are your champions.
Yep. And with that, Weston, anything you want to say before we head to a break and then immediately to the post show?
It was a great season. We only had 1 3-game series in these playoffs, but still so many close games. And a really, you never knew where it was going. I think in the middle of the season, it didn't necessarily look like Bun Bun and Dubu would be in your top 3, but so many great performances, so many different players who found themselves in top 3, but it ends up being, the tried and true veterans who win it here. So just an awesome season. I'm excited for our post show to see what the players are thinking, but it was a pleasure to cast this series with you.
Yeah, and with that, don't go anywhere, everyone. We're going to have a post show right after this with the winners interview, so we'll see you in just a second. Don't go anywhere.
Hungry like Nephew.
Well, welcome back to the broadcast of the North American Strikers League, where we have just crowned our champions and are now joined by the whole team of Hungry Like Nephew that ended up playing today. Kainoob, I'll go to you first. Getting subbed in for this series. How do you feel after the win a moment ago?
I mean, I feel amazing. Like, I did not expect to like play on playoffs at all when I joined as a sub this season for Showtime. But when Bound asked me to like sub for him on playoffs because he was on Alaska, I think, I was like, yeah, sure, fuck it, why not? And also, I took it as a chance to like play with Caleb and Ali because like I will say it, I have been a Sad Boys fan since like release, and I have always wanted to team up with them for like something, but I could not because like Demons versus Sad Boys type shit.
Right.
But yeah, overall, I'm just happy I was able to like perform and win them this season.
Because what's one more title added to your plethora of already NASL titles, S tiers, so on and so forth? Bells, I'll go to you now. Nice to see a new team win the North American Strikers League. How did this one all come together?
Yeah, well, we saw all these like older players that just keep losing or winning, like trying to win these tournaments, and we're like, wow, I feel like we're pretty good at this game, so let's team up for the first time as Hug, right? So us youngins just came over and took over.
So true.
And takeover you did. Vaughn, you pointed out a moment ago, for the first time in NASL history, for the third time, the first seed won. And not only did the first seed win this time, but for the first time in NASL history, they didn't drop a game along the way. It was 2-0s for this team the whole time last time, and 2-0s today. Wasn't this league supposed to be close this season? What was the deal with that?
Bro, I'm sorry. I was distracted. I was distracted looking at my brawler because his arms are looking massive right now. Can you give a little flex? Can you give a little flex on your phone, bro?
All right,
My goodness.
Here,
Yeah.
a little flex.
Whoa!
Oh my goodness.
We're making
That's a
games.
Oh,
That's
it's
a
like
problem,
the
Flash.
Drakkar
Wow.
guns are on his body. Jesus. That's why I wasn't close at all. My brawler put on like 50 pounds of muscle, so he's gonna obviously outbrawl everyone else.
Yeah.
And then goalie is a joke of a role. This role is so easy. Okay, I'm finally gonna stop being like a humble guy, even though Scyther walked me game one. This role is like so easy. It's just midfield. If all of the difficulty of midfield was removed, and you could pick any character you want with any gear, because all four of them are good. So at that point, it was just chill, and it was a good season. I mean, the games week by week were competitive and fun in the regular season. And then towards the end, it was fun to get to play with Kainoob and A. Shout out to A. Good luck to him tomorrow. Polar Cortex NASA Winners Finals W. So
Okay.
I loved playing the season. It was fun to like master a different role that like actually is fun to play. So it was a good time. K-Bot.
Speaking of mastering a different role, I'll turn to you now, Caleb, because obviously entering this season, you're now in the midfield slot, which some people could expect Vaughn to go back to playing goalie, but I think most people would not have expected you to come in playing midfield. And then obviously circumstances arose and you're back in goalie for a decent chunk of the day. But what was it like to learn the midfield role and go up against that crowd?
I'm gonna be honest. It was pretty bad. The player base is like not there to be able to grind games consistently, in solo queue and stuff. So learning the role was really difficult. But when Vaughn gave the news like, "Oh, I won't be able to make playoffs," I was like, "Okay, I'm just gonna scratch midfield entirely and just focus on goalie for the rest of the season."
And Vaughn, are you back today? Like,
Yeah. So
I
hold
was
on.
under the impression that you like subbed in for a game for fun, playing on like 150 ping from Alaska.
No. But I'm down to perpetuate that if you thought I played that well, lagging. Unfortunately, that was my best on my home connection. It felt really cool when I had two different people ask me, "Yo, did you just play from Alaska?" Insinuating that, like, oh damn, like you kind of looked mid as. I get it. No, originally what was gonna happen was I was supposed to fly in on like a red eye Friday night. So I was essentially gonna land, go right to bed, and then after missing last week and Caleb, like we set up like dedicated like scrims twice a week where like sometimes my land team, shout out my fellas, we would scrim this roster. So it felt like self-sabotage to be like, oh, okay, let's just sub in Vaughn 12 hours after he lands on like a 4-hour time zone difference when Caleb's been practicing. But then I got home on Thursday. So I landed at the airport at 6, scrim at 7. Then Friday, I just didn't do anything on the PC. I played League of Legends with Ali on our Smurfs.
Oh.
So like it was like a fun surprise. So then I got to play my game, but then like these guys practiced a lot as these three, so I didn't want to like take that away. But I got my game in playoffs, so I was really happy.
All right. I guess other thing, Vaughn, you didn't get the chance to react to it yet on a broadcast. You were voted MVP by your peers this season. What does that kind of mean to you to finally have that title back from your current teammate?
My teammate. It feels, long story short, it feels deserved because I yap a lot, but I think other than Leon, I don't think anyone worked as hard as me. I just don't, like, maybe they did and I don't know, which is fine. Like, I'm not trying to say like I deserved it over people, but I knew like my work made it so I couldn't win it. So I just, like, I'm sure when people like who watch my stream, like every day of the off season when I knew I was swapping, I streamed in-houses every day for goalie for hours and hours and hours. I would spam in Westcord that I wanted to fill every scrim. I think I've scrimmed against like every NASL team and some NASA teams like by myself, like just all the time because it was summer break for me as a teacher. Like I grinded so much. Like I got really good at different styles. I entered weeklies a bunch. So I was really proud that people recognized like I had put in that work, and it also made me happy that people recognized like my impact I had on my team. Because I had to play like a specific style during the regular season, and I was good at it. But it wasn't easy. So I was really proud of myself, and I was proud of my teammates who accept the way that I play goalie because it is not how everyone likes to play goalie. So sometimes it's hard to play with. So that's my answer.
Good deal. Next, the one question I want to ask is for Kainoob here, as the other, only other NASL MVP in existence. What is it about the way that you and Vaughn approach the game that makes it so difficult for anyone else to get up to that same level? Because now we've been playing this game for 3 years. I mean, the pre-launch alphas, the buff that you get from that should be out the window by this point. What is it about the way that the two of you approach the game or the way the two of you play the game that puts you on the next level?
I feel, at least for me, I feel like everyone on this game just likes to overthink like the way like they want to play, like like how they take decisions. Meanwhile, I just like, oh, I just strike it forward. Oh, it doesn't work. I just strike it somewhere else next time. Simple as that.
He's spinning though, like actually.
Like
Okay.
I just feel like people overthink a lot instead of doing
So you hear that?
the simple things.
So just think less is all I'm
Yeah.
hearing.
Yeah.
And then you'll be
Think
NASL MVP.
Think less if you're a NASL player. Think more if you're not, because the amount of times I'll be like, "Why did you do that?" And they're like, "I don't know. I thought it was good." And I'm like, "But why?" And they're like, "I don't know." It's just, yeah. Think less if you get really good, and think more if you're not good.
Don't forget the hidden secret strike tech that we're gatekeeping.
Oh, true. Okay, well, that we weren't gonna bring that up on stream, obviously.
Well.
So now it's over.
All right. Well, Caleb, I'll turn this one to you. What's next for this team? NASL season 7 is going to end up happening, but maybe not for a little bit. So what is next for this roster and for the players here?
Well, speaking for myself, this is the last season I'm gonna play. But I know Vaughn is really passionate about the game still, so he's gonna keep playing. Um, I'm sure. I'm sure my team will continue playing the game and have fun, but I will not be continuing forward.
Well,
No, Caleb.
salute to you, sir.
No.
2-7.
Bells, how do
Hey,
you
4
feel?
chips though.
What's
Oh,
next?
my bad.
What's next? Well, I want to keep playing, so I'm gonna keep playing. Is what's
So is
next
this
for
just
me.
going to be Kaidu slots into this roster and it's the All-Star team that no one can ever beat?
Who could say?
Who could say?
The
mean-
next season's a long way away. Game on. Who could say? So many
Oh.
possibilities.
It could be
That's so
anyone, to
true.
be honest.
Yeah, true. All right. Well, I guess we'll have to wait and see. We'll go down the line for shout outs, final remarks, anything else you want to say. I'll let the floor fully be yours. And I'll just go in order down the broadcast here. So, Vaughn, we'll start with you.
I will start with our entire roster. Even if they didn't get playtime, knowers know the only time we've been 6-0'd is by our sub roster. We scrimmed them one time week 2. They destroyed us for 2 hours, and then we never scrimmed again until I left for Canada. So shout out to Dr. Bebop, Zay Forever, Tempo Melon at the time, A, Mystic as a coach, Bertram, who was moved to a coach, then left, and then also Kainub. Bang. So shout out to all those players. And I'd like to shout out Huss for being probably the person who appreciates like the spirit of competition the most, because Kainub was on his roster, and obviously the whole situation's been explained before, but Huss heard the problem we were gonna have, and like Caleb like was out at the end of the season, then I was out, and he was just like, yep, I want to make sure that if I win NASL, that you guys are not, there's no asterisk. So obviously it was like kind of his own choice too, but I just want to like make sure I shout out Huss, because he was immediately like, yep, like I want that to happen. Like I want this season to just be like as legitimate as possible, and he did not need to act like that, and he's always like super proud of us, win or lose, no matter what he does. So I wanted to shout out him. And I know there's a ton of shout outs that I will not remember, so I will leave it there. But I will shout out my next teammates for the Denver LAN, Cardbox and Dropletto. I'm really, really enjoying playing with them. I'm looking forward to more of our games, like win or lose that LAN. Like I'm just looking forward to that a lot. So I'd like to shout out those 2 players as well. And it's time for us to get a chip together. So if I didn't shout you out, obviously I know there's like a million people in this community, but I think I'll leave it there, and then shout out, of course, Bestie and Slot for keeping the train going. So I'll end it there.
Sounds good. Bells, to you. Shout outs, final remarks. Floor is yours.
Okay. First of all, huge shout out to Caleb, because one, he stuck with our team. He played midfield even though he didn't really enjoy
He
it.
hated it.
2, we don't so we have our disagreements a lot, but we always seem to resolve it, and he's always been a super good teammate to me, and I really enjoyed all these years of playing together. So yeah, big shout out to Caleb. Shout out to my teammates, of course. Shout out to all the brawlers, because we're all kind of nice like to each other, and that's rare here. So yeah, I won for those guys too. And then I feel like I'm missing someone.
That's how I felt.
Let's see. Well, if I remember, I'll shout them out later. But yeah, shout out, shout out, Bestie and Slot. Thanks, guys. You guys are awesome.
All right, Caleb. Shout outs, final remarks.
All right, I'm gonna skip over my teammates because they're amazing and everybody knows they're amazing. I want to shout out a few competitors of this season that have been really nice to me. and kind. I want to first shout out Josh Gramella. He was maybe the most supportive player on an enemy team when I was role swapped. And it was really nice. I felt I felt amazing. I don't know. There's no other words I can say. But he was so nice. I needed to shout him out. Also, I want to shout out Huss because, like Vaughn said, his competitive integrity is through the roof, and he is also amazing. And then I wanna give my final shout out to Leon because he was my teammate in season 1, and he played his heart out this season, and I really respect him.
All right. And Kaidu, last one.
I don't think I got anyone to shout out other than like the Showtime team and the Hungry Like Nephew team for accepting me like a retired player that's washed on the
Right,
sub roster.
Unproven
Unproven.
free agent.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I mean, yeah,
Team is
shout out to
wrong.
Hungry Like Nephew. Demon Slash, shout outs to them. Snake, if you're watching this, please friend me back. I don't know why he blocked me. But and shout out to my dog that was sleeping on my lap in the entire playoffs.
W dog.
W dog.
I got one.
Oh yeah, Bells, go for it.
Shout out to everyone who didn't vote me or Caleb for All Pro. Our team won with no people on the All Pro, so that was good job, guys.
No people.
Yeah,
Notably.
unironically, Ali was snubbed. This guy was killing it all season. Okay, that's true.
All good. All right. Well, pretty sure that's going to do it for this broadcast and this season of the North American Strikers League. Season 7 will happen at one point or another. Details are still being finalized on that. But of course, it starts with open qualifications. So you can expect information on that coming in the next couple of months. And then when the season rolls around, I guess it's going to be some popcorn graduation 1950s cartoon inspired kind of theme. So look forward to that, I suppose. And on behalf of the entire team here at Bestie in Slot, go to LAN. LAN is coming up. It is in Denver. And I'm telling you to go because I probably will not be able to go because I can't go to 2 events in September because it's the busiest time of the year and I'm an educator. What?
Bro, I'm an educator. Okay.
And I'm going to another event.
Skip that one.
I can't.
Yeah, you can.
No, I can't.
I worked in esports. It's fine. No one's paying attention to you anyway.
September 20th and 21st in Denver, Colorado. You can find more information at startgg/RT Summit. Reach for the summit will be happening. So go to Denver and say hello to the folks there. That'll do it for everyone here at Bestie and Slot. I have been K-Bot. Thanks so much to the organizers, referees, casters, Saya, who's one-man production the whole time, our artists, Yoshi and Lego Mage for doing fantastic work on the animation, and so many more people that go completely unnoticed behind the scenes to put together a 3-tiered league ecosystem for this competitive title. We will see you all in the near future. Have a good evening, and we'll see you in Denver.
Tenacious like Tom, resilient like Jerry, dog like Spike, hungry like Nephew.